Kinds of quantitative research. Quantitative research has a broad spectrum that it can be classified into smaller and more specific kinds. Descriptive, correlational, ex post facto, quasi-experimental, and experimental. Descriptive design is used to describe a particular phenomenon by observing it as in occur in nature. There is no experimental manipulation, and the researcher does not start with hypotheses. The goal of descriptive research is only to describe the person or object of the study. An, an example of descriptive research design is a determination of the different kinds of physical activity and how often high school students do it during the quarantine period. The correlational design identifies the relationship between variables. The data is collected by observation since it does not consider the cause and effect. For example, the relationship between the amount of physical activity done and student academic achievements. Ex post facto design is used to investigate a possible relationship between previous event and present conditions. The term ex post facto, which means after the fact, looks at the possible causes of an already occurring phenomenon. Just like the first two, there is no experimental manipulation in this design. An example of this is how does the parents' academic achievement affects the children's obesity. So, a quasi-experimental design is used to establish the cause and effect relationship of variables. Although it resembles the experimental design, the quasi-experimental has lesser validity due to the absence of the random selection and assignment of subjects. Here, the dependent variables is identified by not manipulated. The researcher does not modify pre-existing groups of subjects. The group exposed to the treatment, experimental, is compared to the group unexposed to treatment or control. Example, the effects of unemployment on attitude towards following safely protocol in ECQ declares areas. Experimental design, like quasi-experimental, is used to establish the cause and effect relationship of two or more variables. This design provides a more conclusive result because it uses random assignment of objects and experimental manipulation. For example, a comparison of the effect of various blended learning to the reading comprehension of elementary pupils.